Hello, welcome to the Kitchen Spy. My name is Kate and this is another recipe video, and I hope that it finds you both safe and well. So this is a vegetarian recipe and it's lentil bake, and this is just something that I made up with the ingredients that I just got in the kitchen that I wanted to use up, and I'm glad I did because it was a really tasty and really warm and lovely recipe and just right for autumn as we're coming into now. So I hope you like the look of it, and if you do and you give it a go, please let me know how you get on. I'll leave the ingredients down below. And also, I just realised actually I've got quite a lot of recipes now online, so I'll leave a link to the recipe playlist and also to the meals of the week and the haul playlist if anyone's interested, and I'll just pop those in the details down below. So let's have a look at the ingredients that we need for this lovely, easy autumnal recipe. So I've got 3 big fat cloves of garlic here, but if you don't like garlic you can miss it out altogether. I've got 2 sticks of celery, these have been destringed and chopped finely. 2 medium carrots, again these are chopped finely. And then in the way of spices, I've got 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and you can just change the spices up to suit yourself. Then here I've got half a red pepper, and I've also got half a orange pepper, but actually you can just use 1 whole pepper. It's just that I had 2 halves left over from a previous meal that I'd done the night before, so I just used what I'd got available. Then a large onion, and that has actually been chopped quite finely as well. Then I've got 450 grams of new potatoes, and these I've left the skin on and I've just chopped them quite small and evenly. Then 2 courgette or zucchini, and I've just chopped those on the bias to give a longer base. 250 ml of stock, and this is vegetable stock. You could use whatever stock you want to, obviously. And then 2 cans of green lentils, which I will drain before using them in the recipe. A can of chopped tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes if you want to, but it was easier with these. Salt and pepper, and then I'll also be using some Parmesan to sprinkle on the potatoes at the end of the bake. So the first thing we need to do is to get the potatoes roasting. So I've just popped them onto a baking sheet here, and I've lined the baking sheet with foil. I've sprayed it with a little bit of oil, and I've sprinkled some salt and pepper onto these potatoes. And what I want to do is get those to start to roast, and I'm going to pop those into a 180 fan oven while I do the rest of the meal. So whilst those are roasting in the oven, what I want to do now is just fry off these courgettes. So I've got a large pan, a large frying pan, and I've just sprayed it with a few sprays of oil. You can use olive oil if you want to, but I would keep it fairly dry for these because they do tend to soak up any oil that you've got there. And I will also sprinkle some salt and pepper on these too. And I just want to get these frying off on both sides, all of the courgettes, and then I'll just keep them to one side. This pan I'm going to be using for the rest of the dish as well, so saving on washing up, and that's always good. So once all of the courgettes have been fried off, you just need a small golden colour. They don't need to be cooked all the way through because they'll get cooked later on, but just pop them into a bowl and pop them to one side, and then we'll come back to those a little bit later. Then what we need to do is we need to fry off the onions, the carrots and the celery. So I've got that in the same pan, so just a few more sprays of oil. So just pop that in and start to sweat it, and you can see how much steam is coming off there. Then I've just added the garlic, which I've now crushed, and I'm adding in the herbs and spices. So that's the oregano, the cumin and the paprika. I've just used ordinary paprika here because I'm not a really big fan of smoked paprika, but if you are, you can use those of course. And then what I've also done now is added in the peppers, and this already looks just so vibrant and light and lovely. This was a real joy actually to make because, like like I said, it was just something that I made from stuff that I'd happened to have left lying around, and we're trying to have a vegetarian meal once a week. So I'm not a huge vegetarian cook. I don't do it very often, so I'm really learning. And so, yeah, this was a good recipe. I'm really glad I did this. So once I've fried off the peppers and all of those things for a little bit longer, then I've added in the tomatoes and also the stock as well. And I'm just going to let that bubble away a little bit so that the vegetables start to cook down. But this will also be going in the oven, so they don't need to cook all the way through. Then it's just a case of adding the canned lentils. So I've drained them and I've rinsed them to make sure that I get all that gloopy stuff off that comes out of the can. I'm not sure you're supposed to use that. Perhaps any expert vegetarian cooks could let me know, but I always rinse it off. And then we just need to bubble this away until some of the liquid is gone and it's more kind of mealy and a bit drier. And then what we want to do is put half of the mixture into an oven-proof dish. So this oven-proof dish is one that I use for shepherd's pies or cottage pies or lasagnas or whatever. So I've just covered the base with half of the mixture, and then as you can see it's all steaming away and really warm. And then what I've done is just covered that with the fried off courgettes. So what I'm trying to do is create a layer here of courgettes in between the two layers of the lentil mixture. And this did work, it just gave it another texture, and I think you could probably use aubergines as well here, or even put a layer of potatoes if you wanted to. So then once we've done that, then we put the rest of the lentil mixture on top of the courgettes, and that fills it right up to the top. And that's why I actually wanted to use diced potatoes here, because they sit very nicely on top of this. So once you've done that, what we need to do is pop on the potatoes. So these have come out of the oven, so they're pretty much cooked. They're quite soft. So I've just popped them on top of the mixture, and I'm just going to sprinkle about 25 grams of Parmesan. Now that's only obviously for four portions this makes, so actually 25 grams goes quite a long way if you do it on the thin side of the grater. Then once you've covered it with Parmesan, just give it a sprinkle of paprika or cayenne pepper. And in this instance, I used cayenne pepper just to give it a little kick, but you can obviously just use paprika or don't sprinkle anything at all. And then we just want to pop that into our 180 oven. So that's 180 fan, 200C, gas mark 6 or 400F, till it's all lovely and golden brown, as you can see here, and that is about between 20 minutes and half an hour, because everything is actually cooked. We're just looking to get the whole thing all heated up together and into a nice kind of brown state on the top so that it looks attractive. So as I said, this makes 4 generous portions, and I froze 2 of the portions. Now I haven't used the frozen ones yet, but I'm really confident this is going to work well as a frozen meal. So I served it up just in a bowl with no extra vegetables, as you can see here. But I think what would have been nice perhaps was if I'd got some broccoli or some cabbage, or even just some peas on the side, some kind of green vegetable. I think that would have been nice. But in any case, this was delicious. Loads of lovely veg in there, really tasty, really healthy, and only 290 calories a serving, and it was really filling. So I would definitely recommend this as a low-calorie dish that's going to fill you up, and it's also incredibly cheap. So there you are then, there's the lentil bake recipe. I hope you like it, and if you do like it and you give it a go, please be sure to let me know. As I say, the ingredients are going to be down below, and I'll also leave links to my playlists for recipes. They're not all vegetarian. The last 2 I've done are fairly vegetarian, although I made a bit of a faux pas on the last one, and I think I said, or didn't think, I definitely said that it was vegetarian when I was using Worcester sauce, which has has anchovies in it. So apologies for that, and thank you to the people who let me know. I really appreciate that, because it stops me looking so much of an idiot, even though I did already. I've changed it now so that it doesn't say that it's vegetarian. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're already a subscriber, thanks for your support, and if you aren't, the subscribe button is going to be popping up soon. It would be great to have you on our Kitchen Spy family for recipes, meals of the week, and also food hauls. And so thanks very much for joining us, and I hope you stay safe. You take care. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.